Welcome to the digital age, where social media platforms like TikTok offer a tantalizing promise of fame and influence to millions of users worldwide. But amidst the glitz and glamour lies a dark reality, the problematic journey of online recognition. In a chilling series of events, TikTok has found itself on a collision course with some of the globe's most infamous cartels, facing dark consequences for their audacity. Join us as we delve into 7 gripping tales of TikTokers who dare to provoke the wrath of the wrong cartels. Number 7. Juan Luis Lagunas Rosales. Juan Luis Lagunas Rosales, a 17-year-old social media sensation, entered a bar in Zapopan with a few friends. Moments later, armed individuals stormed into the establishment, heading straight for the young man's table. Their gunfire ended his life abruptly. Juan Luis Lagunas Rosales, known as El Pirata de Culiacán, had inadvertently incurred the wrath of the cartel, resulting in a fatal consequence. Hailing from Novato, a considerable distance from the hometown of the infamous cartel leader Joaquín El Chapo Guzmán, Rosales faced a challenging upbringing. Because his family had money problems, Rosales had to leave school when he was 15 and moved to his grandma's house. This was a big chance for him. To deal with his problems, Rosales started drinking a lot. Even though he was too young to drink legally, he kept drinking, and it became a big part of his life. He even showed off his drunken behavior online. Surprisingly, many people liked watching his videos, and he got more and more followers as he posted more videos of himself being drunk. This made him want to post even riskier videos. When he was doing really well, Rosales had a lot of people following him online. He had over 200,000 followers on Instagram, 1 million fans on Facebook, and over 34,000 followers on Twitter. People liked him because he was fun and exciting, and even people in his neighborhood knew about him. He lived a life full of parties, alcohol, and excitement. But things changed suddenly for Rosales when he did something that made one of Mexico's scariest drug lords, Nemesio Ceguera Cervantes, also known as El Mencho, very angry. To really understand how serious this criminal group is and how they operate, we need to look closely at what they do. Knowing how they work helps us see why someone like a TikToker could be in serious danger by getting on their bad side. This group started coming together around 2009 and 2010. They joined forces to create one of Mexico's toughest and most advanced armed groups. They operate like a highly organized military, with weapons that are as powerful as those of some small countries. They have heavy guns, armored vehicles, grenade launchers, and even drones. Since they started, the CJNG has been involved in many terrible crimes, including brutal killings in Jalisco and other places. One chilling incident in 2011 epitomizes their brutality. Members of the CJNG callously dumped 35 bodies into the streets of Veracruz, a port city nestled on the Gulf of Mexico, etching a scene of horror into the annals of Mexican history. The leader of the cartel, Nemesio Ceguera Cervantes, also known as El Mencho, has earned a chilling reputation as the epitome of evil in human form. Born July 17, 1966, El Mencho hailed from a humble farming family, one of 6 siblings. However, he diverged from his background early on, opting for a more ambitious and sinister path to success, one tainted by the lure of cocaine and the spilled blood of fellow Mexicans. El Mencho's descent into criminality commenced at the tender age of 14, performing menial tasks for more giant cartels, both in Mexico and the United States. His crimes in the US got him sent back to Mexico after he got caught up doing gang stuff in Texas. When he got back to Mexico, El Mencho joined the Millennial Cartel and started out as a hitman. But because of trouble within the cartel, he switched over to the Sinaloa Cartel, working under Ignacio, alias Nacho Coronel. In this new role, El Mencho took charge in drug dealing, money matters, and violent actions in Colima and Jalisco. Over time, he gained control of half the group and renamed it the Jalisco New Generation Cartel. Under El Mencho's leadership, the CJNG became one of the most brutal criminal organizations worldwide. They have weapons as powerful as the Mexican military and are known for their extreme violence. They are not just bad, they are ruthless and dangerous. When Rosales insulted El Mencho in a video, many thought he was asking for trouble. It's unclear why he did it, as risking his life for social media fame doesn't make sense. Rosales boldly said, "El Mencho, bring it on," challenging one of the most dangerous men around for no apparent reason. He made things worse by posting pictures of himself with guns, making people think he might be connected to a criminal gang. Despite his friends' worries, Rosales didn't seem scared of any retaliation. People who know El Mencho say he's really cruel. He's known for hurting entire families over just a rumor. He doesn't spare anyone, not even journalists journalists who say bad things about him. So why would Rosales, while drunk, pick a fight with such a dangerous person? After his video went viral, Rosales kept posting on social media, but his life took a tragic turn when he ended up at a bar in Jalisco one day. Out of nowhere, a group of armed men arrived in a black truck and started shooting, killing Rosales and hurting the club manager. Before his sad end, Rosales was starting to turn his life around. He was getting into the music business and even signed a record deal, but one mistake, fueled by alcohol, ended his life way too early. Number 6. Rodolfo Marquez. Rodolfo Marquez, known as Fofo Marquez, is a Mexican influencer with millions of followers on social media. Born on July 15, 1997, Fofo comes from a wealthy family background, but not much is known about his family history. He's always had money, and he loves showing off his extravagant lifestyle on social media. You will often see him posing with fancy cars, partying at clubs, and living the high life in Mexico. His flashy posts have earned him over 3 million followers, making him a big deal among young people. Fofo's fame on Instagram led him to try his luck on TikTok, where he also gained followers but got in trouble too. People watched his every move, and he seemed to think that he was untouchable. But that changed when he crossed paths with one of the Mexico's most dangerous criminal groups, the new Jalisco Generation Cartel, or CJNG. So, what did Fofo do to upset this powerful and corrupt organization? Like many TikTokers, he often posted photos to entertain his fans, but on July 7, 2022, he did something shocking in Mexico. Fofo parked 3 expensive cars on the Matud Remos Bridge in Guadalajara, causing traffic chaos. He proudly said, "I closed the bridge because I can. That's the power of money and influence." Fofo even thought about doing TikTok dances while people couldn't use the bridge. He shared the video online, and it quickly went viral. Many people were disgusted by Fofo, calling him names and criticizing his foolishness. The mayor of Guadalajara threatened to take legal action, leading TikTok to ban Fofo's account and remove the video within 48 hours. Fofo couldn't use his account, so he tried to apologize on other platforms. He admitted he acted immaturely and said sorry to those affected. The mayor forgave him, but told him to do community service cleaning under the same bridge he blocked. Fofo had to agree. But then, the CJNG decided to deal with Fofo for what he did. Just when people were forgetting about the video, the CJNG sent Fofo a message through a mysterious account called People with the New Generation. The message said they were the Jalisco New Generation Cartel and they couldn't tolerate Fofo's actions. They warned him that his wealth wouldn't protect him if he ever came to Guadalajara. The sender of the message could have been anyone, but it was serious because the CJNG is known for violence. Fofo's actions in a place controlled by the CJNG challenged their leader, El Mencho. Even though Fofo was rich, he knew he was no match for the CJNG, who have a lot of money and power. Fofo was scared because he knew they could hurt him. When the message spread, Fofo realized how dangerous the situation was. He apologized publicly and stayed in his parents' mansion in Mexico for safety. But even there, he wasn't completely safe. His family hired security guards, but Fofo knew it might not be enough. The CJNG is known for taking out even strong enemies, so Fofo was always on edge. He stayed inside the house, avoiding windows to avoid snipers, and carried a device to call for help if needed. After a few months, he cautiously started going out again, but the threat from the CJNG still hangs over him, reminding him of the danger he faced. Even after all that, it's hard to believe that Fofo dared to challenge El Mencho directly. Number 5. Sabrina Duran Montero. Sabrina Duran Montero, a well-known TikToker, met a tragic end when she was fatally shot in broad daylight on October 23, 2023 in southwest Santiago by 2 cartel hitmen. Her crime? Injuring one of Chile's most ruthless drug cartels with her TikTok videos. But things started to go downhill for her in May 2022 when the Chilean police arrested her and her brothers. They were caught because they were involved in a drug business in the city of PFFL. Besides being famous on social media, Sabrina was also running a drug trafficking group. They were under investigation for collecting, distributing, and selling drugs. In Las Pradas, Sabrina's group clashed with another criminal gang, causing fear and chaos in the town. The situation got so bad that the Chilean government sent 100 detectives to carry out raids to stop the crime. After Sabrina was arrested, she tried to escape through the back window of her hiding place but was caught. Then, she was charged with crimes related to selling drugs. However, being in jail made things worse for Sabrina. During her 3-year sentence, Sabrina became deeply entrenched in TikTok. Despite being behind bars, she maintained a substantial following, with over 610,000 followers on her TikTok account under the username @KatrinaGuzman, a possible nod to the notorious kingpin El Chapo Guzman. Using aliases such as Lena and TikTok narco queen, Sabrina continued to showcase her lifestyle and business ventures to her devoted audience. Somehow, she managed to maintain her online presence even when incarcerated. Even though Sabrina was in jail, she tried to escape by breaking through the window on the 3rd floor of the cell. However, things changed after Sabrina finished her probation. After getting out, Sabrina became an influencer, showing off expensive jewelry and designer stuff on social media. While her posts made it look like she was living a lavish life, Sabrina knew there were dangers around her. Her followers admired her for being both a drug dealer and a TikTok star, but they also unintentionally exposed her legal activities to the world. This newfound fame made Sabrina a target for her enemies, as well as for the government and other criminals. On the day of the tragic incident, Sabrina Duran Montero was en route to a nail salon when her journey took a deadly turn. 3 assailants intercepted her vehicle, forcibly removing her before merciless shooting her 8 times. A bystander captured the harrowing scene on camera, depicting Sabrina's futile struggle as she bled profusely on the ground, succumbing to her injuries. The assailants fled the scene, driving Sabrina's car to a remote location where they set it ablaze. Despite the fast response of emergency services, Sabrina's extensive blood loss proved fatal, and she tragically passed away en route to the hospital. As of now, the Chilean authorities have yet to make any arrests in connections to the murder, and no apparent motive has been identified. This grim reality suggests that Sabrina may be just one among many victims of the rampant violence perpetrated by cartels and gangs, a harsh truth often overlooked by the media. Number 4. Leslie Ann Pamela Montenegro. Leslie Ann, a famous Mexican social media star, became well known on TikTok and YouTube. She shared all kinds of content, like makeup tips and daily vlogs, entertaining her fans. Sadly, things got serious when she decided to talk about a dangerous Mexican cartel using her online name Nana Pelucas. With her signature black afro wig, red lipstick, and big glasses, Leslie joked around with people at supermarkets, making funny videos. As Leslie got more popular, she started to speak about corruption in the Mexican government. She didn't directly name anyone, but used humor to get her point across, causing a stir and getting lots of attention. But in Mexico, speaking your mind can have serious consequences. Leslie's problem started when she started to shine a light on the secretive Acapulco Cartel, one of Mexico's hidden criminal groups. This cartel was involved in many killings in Acapulco, but stayed out of sight most of the time. As Leslie continued to expose the cartel activities, she faced escalating threats, including accusations of collaborations with rival cartels. Despite vehemently denying these claims and affirming the reliability of her sources, Leslie persisted in her efforts to expose the cartel's deeds. This relentless pursuit transformed her into a genuine threat to their operations. On February 5, 2018, tragedy struck as 2 men entered Leslie's restaurant during her night shift. Without mercy, they opened fire, delivering 3 fatal shots to her upper body, ending her life on the spot. Thankfully, Mexican authorities managed to apprehend one of the perpetrators, El Pipas. However, despite overwhelming evidence, the subsequent trial took a disturbing turn when the president judge inexplicably dismissed the charges against El Pipas. This sad ending showed how corruption was everywhere. Even in places, Leslie tried to fight against it. The cartels had power over the courts and could even influence top government officials. Leslie's death made other countries look into what the Acapulco cartel was doing, showing how bad things were in the city. Acapulco became known as the world's 2nd most dangerous city, and the United States warned people not to visit. Leslie wanted to make things better by showing everyone what was wrong in Acapulco, hoping the Mexican government would listen. But she didn't realize how deep the corruption went. Her sacrifice reminds us how corruption can hurt people and how dangerous it is to fight against it. But if you thought her story was chilling, wait till you see what comes next. Number 3. Moit Moore. Moit Moore, a 27-year-old social media sensation, sat in a photocopy shop in Delhi, India, casually scrolling through his phone. All of a sudden, 3 men wearing helmets burst in, holding guns and saying scary things like, "Let's make you a TikTok star." They shot Moore many times, leaving him unrecognizable and even breaking his teeth. How did Moore end up in this horrible situation? Who did he make angry to deserve such a horrible fate? And why did they say those chilling words? To understand what happened, let's go back to the beginning. point Moore became popular on TikTok very quickly, gaining over 500,000 followers and 5.9 million likes in just 8 months. He often showed himself as a tough guy from Haryana with a soft side, not afraid to show his feelings. As his fans liked the character, Moore focused more on making videos to please them, but some of the videos seemed fake, like when he gave his expensive shoes to a homeless person. In addition, Moore liked to show off his tough side, once bragging in a video about being able to break all 206 bones in the human body and the 1,670 laws in the Indian constitution. He meets singing, joking, and dancing in his content, always showing off his strong body to keep his audience interested. Over time, he became very popular, getting a lot of fans across India, with some people even recognizing him on the streets. Everyone wanted to take selfies with him wherever he went, and many dreamed of being in his videos. He probably could have stayed famous on social media forever if he hadn't made one big mistake. Despite seeming charming and cool online, Moore had some shady connections. Investigators say he hung out with criminals, which was dangerous in a city like Delhi, full of gang fights and turf battles. Moore got himself into more trouble by helping a friend with a 3 million Indian rupee real estate deal, about $36,000. Sadly, when the friend died unexpectedly, his associates demanded Moore to pay back the money. He refused, so a hired gang came after him for revenge. Feeling threatened, Moore thought he could find safety with a rival gang, but this just made things worse, and it ended with him getting shot 17 times and dying in a photocopy shop. The police couldn't be sure at first, but it was clear that a criminal gang was involved. They caught a young person linked to the crime, which helped them find other gang members involved. A year later, the police arrested 2 men, Vikas and Rohit Darar, who were hiding in a village in Punjab. They were suspected to be part of a notorious gang called Klesan Gang, or the Nandu Gang. The 2 shooters had been running from the police for a while. Before catching them, the police searched a lot and even offered a reward for information. Finally, the criminals were caught, bringing closure to Moore's family. Number 2. Illuminati Sits. Before his account became private, Illuminati Sits engaged his followers by accepting their dares. On one occasion, he dared to insult El Mencho in a video. Dressed in a black round-neck t-shirt, red black jeans, and carrying a backpack, leaning on a light pole, he boldly stated, "Listen well, you son of a bitch. El Mencho can suck mad d***." He then referenced 2 other social media teenagers executed by El Mencho, saying, "I don't sleep like El Pirata o El Chanchito de Culiacán." He continues, "I'm immortal, untouchable. I made a pact with the devil. I came to give you fire, Mencho. I'm not scared to say this. I'll say this without the camera right here. Mencho can suck mad." The audacity of this young man to insult El Mencho deserves applause. When the video went viral on Reddit and Twitter, many speculated he was part of a cartel due to his confidence, but no response came from El Mencho or the CJNG. Rumors suggested the teenager wasn't based in Mexico, residing instead in Richmond, California, making it difficult for CJNG to reach him. Without a response from the CJNG, the teenager uploaded an apology video to El Mencho, expressing regret and asking for forgiveness, leading to speculation about El Mencho's possible personal threat to the teenager, or the teenager's realization of the gravity of his actions. Although the outcome remains unknown, the TikToker vanished from the platform along with his account. While a video of him surfaced on another account weeks later, his fate remains uncertain. So, did they eliminate him quietly? Perhaps, but we cannot say for sure. Number 1. Azucena Uresti. Azucena Uresti, a well-known Mexican news anchor, faced danger from the cartel after revealing their secrets on live TV. Despite not being a TikToker, Uresti's social media presence is vital. The case gained significant attention in Mexico in 2021, prompting even the president to intervene. It all started in August 2020, when armed masked men from the Jalisco New Generation cartel, responsible for other cases examined in this video, threatened Azucena Uresti in a video. The cartel accused Milenio Television, a major media outlet, of supporting vigilante groups aiming to eradicate cartels. These groups, part of a new wave of vigilantes, pose a threat to criminal organizations in Mexico. Despite allegations of drug dealing, vigilantes sought to cleanse the nation. The cartel targeted Uresti for allegedly slandering them on her show, portraying them as evil. They issued a clear threat, warning her to stop or face consequences, even femicide accusations. Though the speaker's identity remains unverified, the internet erupted with chaos upon the video's release. Being a journalist in Mexico is perilous, with over 250 journalists murdered in 2 decades. Yet, Uresti bravely continued her show, receiving support from influential figures like the president. Under a federal protection program, she persisted persisted in her coverage, exposing cartel brutality in Tierra Caliente. Despite the looming threat, Uresti's courage prevailed, and she bid farewell to her show in January 2024, acknowledging the lingering apprehension. Fortunately, her story diverged from others who fell victims to cartels. As we wrap up our investigation into TikTok risk encounters with cartels, it's clear that the online world isn't all fun and games. These 7 stories show how fame-seeking can lead to big trouble. But our journey isn't over. Stay smart and safe online. Share these cautionary tales with your friends to spread the word about staying safe on social media. Keep having fun on TikTok, but what's your step? Thank you so much for tuning into my video. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking it and subscribe for more content like this in the future.